Welcome to the Share Your Rise podcast, where every person has an untold story to tell. I'm Katie.
I'm Bree. Join us as we explore the inspiring stories of individuals from all walks of life, uncovering the challenges they've overcome and the victories they've achieved.
Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to share your own rise. Well, hello, everybody. We are so excited to have you join us for another episode of Share Your Rise.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we are wanting to share with you is what we will be doing in between each of our podcasts, where we interview a formal, wonderful, beautiful person. Then we will also have our reflections. And this is what this is. And we have decided to call it the Bree
Rising Reflections. So today we get to talk about our reflections, our thoughts on our conversation with Cheryl O'Hearn, owner and founder of Spin Market Digital.
Yeah.
And her team that we got to spend some time with in Fort Dodge. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
That is. And so let's just kind of start diving in. So in our Rising Reflection.
Our Rising Reflection.
I love it. I love the name. So one of the wonderful things that we have to start with, I think, is Kimberly. Because it does go into how we met Cheryl.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun little connection for sure, how we met Kimberly, and then Kimberly told us all about Cheryl and her amazing team, and we were honored to connect with Cheryl that way.
So how it kind of started was we're, meeting with our good friend Kimberly at Cutting Edge Success. And she basically, is throwing us nuggets of entrepreneurship here and there.
Giving us some good pointers on how to start our business.
Yeah. Good pointers. And then she says, you know what you guys need is... No. Let me rephrase that. You know what it was? She knew... She was the fixer. She was like the fixer, like in Donnie Brasco. Because she was like...
Kimberly is the fixer.
Kimberly is the fixer because she was like, I know somebody for that. I know somebody for that.
She does. She knows somebody for everything. That girl, she's just got so many connections.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's truly how it started because I was like, well, how do we grow? And how do we do this? And how do we do that? Right. I know somebody for that. I know somebody for that. I know somebody for that. And then she literally gives me her cell phone and is like, go ahead.
Write a text to Cheryl on my phone here. Yes, I remember that.
I don't know if Cheryl knows that. She may know now.
We'll have to make sure we tell her.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, she came full circle with a promise. So,
she did.
Mwah.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Kimberly. And anyways, and then right away when Kimberly left, I emailed Cheryl right away because I was like, okay, let's get on this bandwagon. Who's Cheryl? Mm-hmm. Number one. And
she sounds amazing.
She sounds amazing. And what do you have to offer?
Yeah.
And
how can you help us?
How can you help us? Exactly. And she got right back to us immediately, had a meeting the next day, and she said, yeah, I can help you. I can help you with your website.
Well, and I mean, shout out to her team too. She's got an amazing team of people behind her at Spin Market Digital that are really they're really cutting edge. They're innovative. They're creative. They're willing to listen and individualize whatever, we needed. They were there to do it. And you know what? We are not necessarily, we know what we want, right, Katie?
Yeah.
We know what we want.
We're not easy.
We have a vision in mind, and they definitely were adaptable and flexible to everything that we needed. And they just did. They have done a fabulous job. So thank you, Cheryl, for introducing us to your team and having them help us.
That's it. I mean, we have to do a shout out to Cheryl and the team. Absolutely. Peter, Mackenzie, Abby, Megan. I mean, literally, all of you guys are amazing. We're so lucky that we got to, partake with you and do a whole thing and help build our business and our vision.
Yeah, really, they got us they helped us get up off the ground in like 6 weeks.
They helped us get to April 1st.
Yep, they did.
They never left us. They never abandoned us. I have abandonment issues, Bree. It's something I struggle with, from a doctor to a dentist to even a marketing person. And I'm like, don't leave me.
Don't leave me. We need you.
Like, what? You're leaving? Like, no. Okay,
It
we'll stay with you.
It did get a little intense and emotional at times, and they stuck it out. They stuck through.
They're like, don't worry. We'll stay with you through April 1st. And we're always here, Katie, just an email away.
Yep. Lots of encouragement. So thank you, team.
It was amazing. We like to call them our aunties.
Aunties.
And that's just because they've been in the business for a very long time.
And they have a great partnership themselves. So a lot of the things that we have talked about with them or to them or about them, they are in the same picture together.
Yeah. They're working really hard together. They want to help other entrepreneurs. And they're similar to us in a way, Bree, where like, I don't know, like they're completely different, but they're like, they somehow enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, they're great friends.
They're great friends.
Yeah.
And they referred each other and and then here we are today. I mean, clearly we have like built this from the ground up.
Yes.
But they encouraged us.
They've been there to encourage us for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So Cheryl took us back to the farm days.
She did, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She lived on the farm as a young girl, and she told us all about just how she got to be creative on the farm and think creatively from a very young age, and how that really started to grow those core memories and those core values about the need to think outside the box and be innovative from a very young age.
Yeah.
So it was cool to hear about her riding her horses on the farm and, helping out with the farm chores every morning, and how that definitely builds, not just creativity, but hard work ethic, those Midwestern ways.
Yeah, it's true. It was something that just reminded me about, how simple can be actually so endearing.
Oh, yes. I love that.
And it's like, it can be something that we all actually strive to be, is more simple. She didn't need a lot of what we have today or what our kids have today.
Yes, absolutely.
And she just was able to learn ethic and the hard work that it takes to rise above challenges the old-fashioned way.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, she had a close family growing up. And I think that definitely builds into those Midwestern life values as well. Sounds like she had hundreds of cousins and very close family. And so, yeah, that growing up on the farm was just, that it's amazing how just that kind of life can bring those kinds of values into that, like you said, Katie, the work ethic, the creativity, the innovative way of life, and just like how that kind of brought her into her being of, once she finished high school, starting her first job as a waitress, and then working her way up that corporate ladder, and how it's just was so tough. She was a tough girl, tough farm girl, and how that came out, when she was faced with all sorts of challenges in the workplace.
I think that's one of the most remarkable things I did take away from it, because number one, I love tough women that come from an experience, especially back in the day. Like, we're talking, our mother, but maybe before our mother, right?
Yeah.
And like she's like giving us this perspective of how it was, and we know how it is today, and what she had to deal with years ago.
Yeah.
And how she came out of it. And yeah.
There's a lot of layers there that because of the generation that we're in now, maybe in some ways we can relate to it. I was a farm kid, not necessarily a farm kid, but a country kid in the 80s and 90s. So I can relate.
From Lisbon.
From small town Iowa. So
I'll never forget the sweater you had from Lisbon. And I go, is that Lisbon, Portugal?
Yeah. Lisbon, Iowa. Shout out to Lisbon, my hometown. No, just small town Iowa. So I get, like, I can empathize with a lot of those, those memories she probably made with all of her cousins on the farm growing up, just being creative. I remember, when I was a kid, one of my favorite things was hanging out with my cousins up in the hay bale.
I love the cousins.
Yes. Hanging out
fun.
with the cousins up in the hay mound, up in the top of the barn.
Yeah.
And we would make forts.
Wow.
We would make forts in the hay.
Cool.
It was so fun.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's like a dream
Yeah.
for me. Because I love playing in my attic.
Yes.
So to think that like you guys actually got to do that as a team,
Yeah.
like in a barn.
We would move the straw. It wasn't hay. I'm going to correct myself. It was straw, because there is a difference between hay and straw. Hay is the alfalfa and the actual plant that you feed the animals, and straw is the bedding that they sleep in.
Wow.
So
I don't even know that. I guess I'm kind of more of a city slicker. But that doesn't mean much because I'm a city slicker from Des Moines.
yeah. Well, that's the metro of Iowa. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's our city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And growing up with the donkeys and the peacocks at Grandma and Grandpa's farm. So
Oh
I
my gosh.
totally was hearing her and loving what she had to say about the farm. But yeah, that work ethic is huge. That's a huge core value that she definitely had and still has today.
It was a huge core value for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it also the fact that she started talking about having children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
as a full-time corporate business working mom, yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I was like,
you can relate to that.
I can definitely relate to that because I was just like, I can't. Okay, it's hard enough to do it in the era we're in, but then to think back as a woman, like in her time, and to like have children, reproduce, and then go back into the workforce and not just stay home with your kids.
Yeah,
and we're not talking New York City, right? We're talking Iowa, so it's like even more like as in. It's kind of more typical,
Yeah, there was no support system as far as like what it looks like to be a full-time working mom and have kids, have children. How do you balance all that? You know, I can't imagine. Like we do have a lot more support systems now than they definitely did back then.
Yeah, and she made it work.
Yep.
And she made it work. And she was a businesswoman. She was a wife. She was a mother.
Absolutely.
And she was providing for her family. And if that is not like my top four, I loved that.
Yeah.
And I know, that's something that many, many women want to, think if they can or cannot do it. And my personal experience is it fucking will rip out your heart when you have to leave your newborn baby.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's not fucking easy.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Oh my God.
I never had to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I did it 3 times and it was like each time was just as worse as the other.
Yeah. And they just expect you to just go about life and get back into it.
Well, and then you're breastfeeding, so you have to pump your milk.
Right. I did have to do that. But yeah.
Well, and then to think like I didn't even ask Cheryl about that. Like, did she have to pump her milk, or did she have to make the decision just not to breastfeed? Because you may have to.
Absolutely, and remember that I asked her, "How did you do it? Like, how did you balance it all?" And she said, "You just did. You didn't think about it. It was just something that you had to do. You just did it. You lived in the moment, and you just second by second, day by day, minute by minute, did it. And it wasn't something that you talked about. You just knew that you had to do it. So
it's
yeah,
true.
I can't imagine.
Like that's exactly what she said, actually, like listening to you. Yeah, it was like that, just matter of fact.
Yep.
You just did it.
I remember that. Yep. She's like, you just did it. You just had to.
Well, one of the things that we did learn from her is not only that work ethic that we actually empathize with, because I think we both have similar work ethics, just like that.
Absolutely.
But we also took away from her some amazing advice and how to run our business.
Oh, yes, for sure. Like she has given us lots of little tidbits here and there, and happy to give it too. Like wanting to be supportive of our new venture, and obviously has a passion for helping women, not just women-owned businesses, but small businesses be successful. Like she's told us that numerous times. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed. We will do what we need to do to help you get there. And I mean, she's true to her word. She's definitely been there and given us those little tidbits. So we're super thankful for her about that.
Amen. Amen, sister. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the team and everything out there. And one thing we do want to say before we leave is just remember, go to Spin Market Plus Digital. They are on our website, so you can't miss them. Go to elevatoworldwide.com. Like us, like and subscribe. And then also you will see Cheryl and her team there. And they are fantastic. It's a very small investment if you want to get your business up and feeling real.
Yes.
And feeling authentic.
And like we said, they will listen to you and follow your brand and your ideas to a T. They're great. Absolutely check them out. They're in Fort Dodge, Iowa, but we're an hour and a half away, and they've just been fabulous about communicating and staying on top of things, even though we're not right there with them, in person. They're definitely worth the investment for sure.
They are.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Share Your Rise podcast.
We hope you're leaving inspired and empowered to share your own journey.
Until next time, keep rising, keep thriving, and remember, your story matters.
This podcast is produced by Elevato Worldwide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Be sure to head to elevatoworldwide.com for more great content.